two funny things that happened in the world of Counter-Strike this week that proves esports is a joke. It's tenuous, but I'm going to try and tie it together for you. It'll probably be a nice short YouTube video, and people will go, wow, you've really hit the formula with this one. It's completely unplanned, completely unscripted. The two topics are completely unrelated, except I found both of them funny. And yeah, oh, you really nailed it. Yeah, shorter videos, bro. Never going to do that. Long form for life. Long form, rambling, tangents, own experiences inserted into it. You buy the ticket, you take the ride. If you don't like that, I'm not the guy. I'm not the content creator for you. Maybe it means I'll always be small. That's fine. I'm at peace with it. It's all good. So I saw this. Here he is. It's your boy Lars from Falcons. And they're doing a non-PC, meaning computers, not political correctness, because the Saudis are obviously very politically correct people. Non-PC boot camp in progress. Onboarding new team is an essential part of this boot camp. Welcome, Kiyosuke. And we can zoom in. We can see we're all just having a look, right? Onboarding Maxim. It's got over there. It's got a TV screen. They're all there. Now, look, man, you got to do this when you're doing team building. Remember, I've done this. I did this in Source. You know, there were days I'd just be like, you know, let's just fucking do some team building exercises. Let's just go out. Let's just hang out. Let's just get to know each other. You know, like, let's just get invested in each other as people. And then, you know, we won't want to play the blame game. Like, we'll feel so, you know, basically, this is the sort of psychological mechanism at play. Ultimately, if I like you and you fuck up and make a mistake in our game, even if it costs us the game, I'm going to tell you, oh, bro, it wasn't your fault, man. I could have played harder as well. Like, we'll get him next time. I love you. We'll up and at him, right? And you're gonna know that you still made the mistake, but it's not gonna hurt you as much. It's got less chance getting in your head and creating like a tick or the yips, as they call them in snooker. You know, and you know that your boy's got your back, right? If I don't like you and haven't had a good time with you and don't want to hang out with you, and you make a mistake in a game and you go, I'm sorry I made that mistake, you go, yeah, well, fuck off. Too late now, isn't it? And you just walk off. Or, don't talk to me, bro. Not now. Or you just say something like, oh, yeah, whatever. It happens. And then you go and you secretly plot to have that person removed from the team. So team building's important. It's important in esports, this backstabby, snaky, professional thing. You got to do it. And so, listen, a non-PC boot camp talking with an award-winning sports psychologist, that should be sick, right? That's actually a good idea. I saw a tweet from Yanko. I was like, this is wicked, right? Because people were like saying non-PC boot camp, right? Here it is. It's crazy to me how many people think that spending the first day or two out of 10 of your boot camp on team building and getting everyone on the same page is somehow not worth it? You know, valid point. By the way, Yanko's been a coach. He understands what it is to be there and, you know, be doing this type of stuff. Been successful, won trophies in CS. Duncan, who, because the community laugh at Falcons, Duncan is bizarrely the Falcons, the protector of all things Falcons. He says, when the same performance coach did stuff like this with Astralis, he was a genius because they won. But when he does it with Falcons, apparently it's all a scam and he's a fraud because Falcons bombed the major. Now, listen, he's got a point. Of course he's got a point. He's Duncan. He's not stupid, is he? He's absolutely got a point there, yeah. This guy did do this at Astralis. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it like this. But, you know, he was winning with Astralis. He was heralded as a genius. And obviously, therefore, this has been able to snowball into a very successful career. Lars is considered the benchmark for many sports psychologists in this space. So, you know, it's fair. It's valid. Duncan's my friend, you know, and so he gets to give his opinion, even if it pains me to see him defend Falcons, but it's fine. It's all fine. We're not gonna fall out with someone over a CS opinion. So anyway, I was like, you know what? Yeah, okay. But then somebody zoomed in on the pictures on the wall. Now, I don't know if you still want to defend this, Duncan, when you see this. I'm going to be real with you. And yeah, by the way, considering Saudi are funding the organization, I hope that's a man and woman holding hands. Even then, that's haram in public. Now, I'm going to just be real with you. If I just joined a team, oh, there you go. Someone's told me apparently holding hands between men is actually okay in Saudi. There you go then. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. We're just going to bring that culturally into the table now for the guys. That'll totally help the Muniseen Eco fan fictions that are getting written by all these weirdo fans. Anyway, if I've just joined the team and I'm told, hey, guess what we're doing? We're doing a non-PC boot camp for the first couple of days with an award-winning sports psychologist. You're going to love it. I'm going to go, fucking hell, this sounds sick. I was getting a bit burnt out by playing the games anyway. And, actually, I think I might need some psychological tools. And what a great place to get them. Fucking sick. And I get in and I sit down and that's on the wall. I'm fucking done. What is this shit, guys? Now, this isn't even the problem. The person I saw drew that, right? Over here, do you know what it says? 1 fire, 2 shields, 3 stars. Now, I can't know the context because I wasn't in that meeting room, right? Obviously. And therefore, I can only speculate. But is this saying their team is made up of 3-star players and the other 2 guys, you're not stars. You're shields for the team. And you're going to shield the stars on the team. But it's all good because even though you're shields and we're stars, we've got 1 fire driving the team. Now, instead of a team huddle, let's all hold hands by the power of friendship. Right? That's what's happening here. Fuck this. This is the most fraudulent bullshit I've ever seen. And also telling 2 of your players that they're not stars because they're shields is fucking not what I want to hear. Now, maybe that isn't that. I'm hoping Lars is going to get on Twitter and say something else. Like, the context of the picture. I'd love to know, but if it is that, then that is garbage. The middle one, I mean, listen, can I zoom? I just don't know, man. Is that a dinosaur? A heart. They're love hearts. There's 2 hearts. Guys, is this fucking kindergarten? I don't know, boys. Like, there's like 2 hearts. And then what's this up here? What's that? A balloon? Or is that a face? No, that's a face. Oh, is this, who's this down here? Is that another stick person? I just don't know, mate. I'ma just say, you've made us all look bad with this, lads. You've made us all look real bad in esports. This can't be what you're doing professionally. Like, if I worked in an office and we were doing something like this instead of working, yeah, it'd be great to be off the phones, but I'd still think this was fucking juvenile and a waste of my motherfucking time. Like, I would not be fucking about this, like, at all. Like, come on. Enough's enough. Like, I'm a professional fucking Counter-Strike player, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to know more about the context, but I thought this was cringe. And the memes were delicious. I'm not going to do that thing where we look at fucking 50 memes in a row. The meme review got no views. It got like 8,000 views. Couldn't believe it. But what I will do is I will show you the one I thought was the very best. Nico retiring after choking his 30th major. And it's the Wolverine meme. Really funny that his head is disproportionately small. And he's just stroking and treasuring the stickmen figures. Like, it's actually fucking ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Like, holy shit. So I saw that. Now, the other thing that fucking buckled me multiple times. And people are going to go, wow, Richard, you really can't laugh at this. You absolutely fucking can. And anyone who says you can't doesn't have a sense of humor. And so, and fuck you. But Trump's won, right? We get to have a go of setting the cultural norms now. And I say this is okay to laugh at. The PUBG Mobile World Cup is going on. There's an Indian team. They're called Team Aryan. Now, my video camera is doing a great job of hiding the fucking reveal on this one. Team Aryan faces criticism for offensive player name ahead of PUBG Mobile World Cup 2025. Team Aryan. They've got a guy called Aryan on the team. It's not even the problem. The player is called Hitler. Oh, my days. Now, I don't want to get into how in India there's an entire... right. There was basically like... historically, there were people in India at the time of Hitler being active, let's say, that believed he was an avatar of Krishna. And they actually thought Hitler was pretty fucking based. And they also thought that Hitler would welcome them in. And this is sort of devolved through the times to people of certain beliefs. They feel that actually, because they've still got the caste system in India, they believe they're not the same as their other fellow Indians, and they are in some way superior to their other Indians. And Hitler would have actually got rid of the other Indians, but would have welcomed these Indians in, And it's, bro, I can assure you, you're barking up the fucking wrong tree on that one. But that's just a thing. So to some people, Hitler just isn't offensive in India. And yeah, it probably did fuel the beliefs that Hitler had always expressed admiration for Britain because we were a tiny island that had a great empire. And of course, one of the countries we subjugated was India. Anyway, so not everyone finds Hitler offensive. Now, look, maybe I don't need to give an opinion on this. I'm going to just say this. If you're a young esports guy, you're looking for your brand, and you want to pick a gamer name, maybe stick to Elite Sniper Wolf 420. Like, it's better that than to say, I know someone else who killed a lot of people, which is what I do on the server. I'm a pick my name, Hitler. Don't do that. That's not going to work long term as a strategy. So I'll read you the report. The PUBG Mobile World Cup 2025 at the Esports World Cup. So this is happening. It's like, fucking hell, we're getting all this heat for human rights violations. Don't worry, we'll have an esports tournament and we'll do esports washing, and that'll make everyone forget about the human rights violations. By Jove, that's a great idea. Let's do PUBG as well. It's super popular. Team Aryan with the player Hitler. You even got to feel sorry for the Saudis on this one. They're like, fuck, we're trying to make you forget about mass killings. It's insane. This fucking industry is so mental. It'll never not be mental. It's always going to be mental every day. But keep in mind, I didn't even ever get round to reporting the Team Liquid story about the guy that fucking was sponsored by Team Honda, lost to a Japanese team in a tournament, and posted the fucking Hiroshima bomb being dropped on Hiroshima as a response to try and trigger, and the team and Honda stopped sponsoring Team Liquid because of it. I never even got round to talking about that on stream. This industry is just deeply, deeply, deeply stupid. I might work that in just at the end of this one, just to show you. But anyway, back to Hitler. For fuck's sake. The PUBG Mobile World Cup 2025 at the Esports World Cup is getting a lot of attention ahead of the tournament, but it's largely over the team's name and one of its players. While it could be argued Team Aryan has a different meaning in India, one of the player names, Hitler, has sparked criticism from the wider esports community. Team Aryan started getting attention for its success in the Indian PUBG Mobile Battlegrounds Mobile India scene. The team won the Battlegrounds Mobile India Series 2025. By the way, absolute nightmare fuel for a caster. I mean, we used to have a Swedish player called Rape. That was what the Western casters used to call him. They didn't know it was that rap here, that brand of snooze. So when they were meant to be, he didn't have an accent over the E because he couldn't type it. So he just went around. He would say all the time, he's like, fucking hell, you got to change your name. He go, but it is the snooze that I like and buy in the store. And for years, people who've never been to Sweden don't know what snooze is. They're just calling him Rape, and he's been shot there. Rape's come around the corner. It's just like, oh my god, like go look that up. There's some casts of it. It's fucking insane. So, you've just got to think about it's important in esports. People have to shout this all the time. Anyway, it is, I just can't even imagine it though having do I really have to say Hitler? Do I really have to say his name? Well, he's the MVP of the tournament, so I don't know how we're getting around it. And your MVP, Hitler. It's a fucking nightmare. You'd have to leave. Like, I think, honestly, if I'm a caster and I have to cast a game and I'm like, please can I not say his name? Please can I not say his name? And if I have to say his name over and over and over again in the cast, I'm just leaving. You can't do it. However, following its success, The esports community zeroed in on the team name, with hundreds of people voicing concern on X, formerly Twitter. While a few people defended Team Aryan and player Aryan due to the term meaning noble in Sanskrit, by the way, that's why the word was chosen, in case you're curious about that. It's the same with the way Hitler appropriated the swastika, not this Hitler, the more famous Hitler appropriated the swastika. He, you know, he was into Gnosticism and mysticism. He was a fucking crazy motherfucker, obviously. So anyway, the term meaning noble in Sanskrit, one of the players has seemingly been named after fascist dictator Adolf Hitler. And by the way, there is no school, there's no getting out of that one. If you're called Team Aryan, you go look at what it means in Sanskrit. Hitler doesn't mean anything in Sanskrit, bro. Like, it just means Adolf Hitler. So you just stuck with it. According to a report from Talk Esport, the Esports World Cup is not allowing Hitler to go by the username. I'd have done anything to have been in that room when that conversation was happening. I'd have done anything. I'd have done anything to be there and hear that. I can't even imagine how you broach this subject. You know how you're called Hitler? For this tournament, can you just not be called Hitler? Anyway, by the way, guys, I haven't even got to the punchline yet. If you think this is funny, wait till what happens next. So, some sources claim he is going by Henry, which he has used while competing in other tournaments. This would ensure that team callouts, broadcasts, and analysts don't use the offensive name during the Esports World Cup. The PUBG World Cup Mobile begins on July 25th. By the way, I'm almost tempted to tune in now because someone might slip. And it's going to be, it's Hitler Henry. Now, he's now called Henry. I've got a friend called Henry. You might know him. Done a little bit of commentary in his lifetime. Jake Lucky obviously wasted no opportunity to get right on this story. Here he is. The player formerly known as Hitler. You don't have to make him sound like Prince. The player formerly known as Hitler has apologized and changed his name to Henry, right? And he said here, I want to sincerely apologize for my previous esports ID and apologize to anyone who's hurt by it. It was highly insensitive and hurtful, and I used it without fully considering the weight and historical pain associated with it. By the way, he did not. Anyone calling themselves Hitler in a video game is not right in this statement. It was never my intention to offend. It was never my intention to offend when I named myself after the one person in human history considered the most evil by contemporary society. I have changed my esports ID to Henry. Thank you to those who helped me realize this. I'm committed to making sure I represent myself in the esports community with more awareness and respect going forward. I want to thank my teammates, Goebbels, Goering, and Himmler. That's the punchline. That's the punchline I would have wrote. But anyway, whatever. So, as I said, I know I have a friend called Henry. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Now, this isn't even where the story ends. There's one more tweet that just makes this the funniest thing that's happened in ages, and I don't know why it didn't go viral. It's Storin again. He took a break from defending Falcons to say the funniest thing he said in 2025. He replied to that tweet saying, "You have a chance to do something white bold. we we recorded 2 episodes of Foreplay today, but they were heavily delayed because I was fucking creased. We were laughing about this so much." He said as well, he went, "Well, it's available, isn't it now?" How is any of this happening? How is this? A news story. Oh, Christ. So that is just another day in esports. Just another ridiculous day in esports. It just it's you will never run out of stupid stories from now until the end of time if you just follow this space. It's the only thing that really keeps me around, I'm sure now. Things like that are just so good. So healing because it's so ridiculous and so stupid and so unprofessional, and it feels like it could only happen in esports. And people will say, well, this is why no one takes us seriously. And yet somehow people do take us seriously, and we're a growth industry, and we grew through the pandemic, and we're still growing all the time. It's just mad. What a fucking mad business to work in. But anyway, the good news is, guys, Hitler's dead again.